Hello and welcome to Learn Yourself. Today we are going to study about atoms and molecules. This chapter is under CBSE Std-9 syllabus. So we are starting our chapter with two basic laws. That laws are of chemical combination. First of all, Anthony Lavoisier was a scientist who gave a law of conservation of mass and he laid a foundation of chemistry. So, according to Anthony Lavoisier's law, it says that mass can neither be created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. This means if there is an equation like NaOH plus HCl, so it will give us NaCl plus H and OH, so it will be H2O. If you will see here in this chemical equation, then the atoms of right hand sides are exactly equal to the atoms towards left hand side. That means if one Na is at reactant side, then only one Na is there at product side. If there are two hydrogen at reactant side, then we will get two hydrogen at product side. So that means mass can neither be created or any atom can not be created throughout the chemical equation. We cannot create any matter, we cannot create any mass, or we cannot destroy. Destroy means if there is one and two hydrogens are here, then it cannot be one. You cannot destroy any matter, you cannot destroy any mass. So mass can neither be created nor destroyed in chemical reaction. It's only transfer from one form to another form. So that is a chemical reaction. Now second law is law of constant proportion. Now proportion means in any molecular formula, suppose NaCl, there is one Na and one Cl. So this is a proportion. If you will take H2O, then the proportion of hydrogen and oxygen is 2:1. Hydrogen and oxygen is in the ratio of 2:1. So this is the proportion of any compound. If you will say that in the compound of water molecule, there are two hydrogen and one oxygen. So this is a fixed composition and fixed proportion of water molecule. This will not change. Anywhere on the earth, if you are synthesizing water or it is naturally available, the molecular formula of water will be H2O. So Joseph Proust has given this law, that constant proportion. He said that in a chemical substance, the elements are always in definite proportion by mass. Any chemical substance, all the elements are always in definite mass and definite proportion. So if we are talking about sodium chloride, whenever I will say sodium chloride or you will read sodium chloride, that means it is a composition of one sodium atom and one chlorine atom. So this means the molecular formula, the composition, the chemical substance has fixed proportion. So these two laws have given us a clear idea about a chemical substance, composition of the matter and a chemical reaction. So these laws are important to understand the basics of chemistry. Now we are studying Dalton's atomic theory. This theory was a turning point in case of study of matter because this theory has proved the law of conservation of mass and law of definite proportion. These two laws which have been given by Joseph Proust and Anthony Lavoisier. So this theory gave explanation for these two laws are completely correct for chemical reaction and a proportionate mass. Now a Dalton's theory of matter is important as you will get questions in the exam that explain a Dalton's theory of matter, then you have to write the all 5 points, and if any of the point, if they will ask you to explain, then you have to give example and you have to explain it. So there are total 5 points in Dalton's theory. One by one we will see it and we will discuss it with its suitable example. First, all matter is made of very tiny particles called atoms. So all the matter are made up of atoms which participate in chemical reaction. With reaction you can explain that NaOH plus HCl will give us NaCl plus H2O. Here you can explain that in this chemical reaction what is taking part is atoms. These atoms are taking part in chemical reaction. That means this sodium atom is going to react with this chlorine atom and these two atoms will form a molecule. So like this, in the biggest chemical reaction at the smaller level, the atoms are reacting and atoms are taking part in the chemical reaction. Molecules are not taking part in the chemical reaction. Atoms are reacting with each other. Second point, atoms are indivisible particles which cannot be created or destroyed. As we have discussed earlier in Lavoisier's law, that we cannot destroy the mass, we cannot create the mass. What all mass we have it, what all matter we have it, we will get it in another form. Only the form is transferring, only we are transferring the form of the matter. We are not creating any matter. And particles are indivisible. You cannot break the particles, which in turn is wrong in current scenario, because Dalton had given this theory in 17th century. So after that there are so many new discoveries and new inventions have happened which prove that atoms are divisible. We can break atom. So this point in a current scenario is a wrong, but at that time Dalton has given this idea that particles are indivisible. Third point, atoms of a given element are identical in a mass and chemical properties. That means any element, if you are taking a sodium, that anywhere on the earth sodium is having a same chemical properties and it is identical. Any atom's mass, chemical properties and its physical properties will remain same. Fourth point, atoms combine in a ratio of small whole numbers to form compound. Now the meaning of small whole numbers means, so in this NaCl, sodium and chlorine are combined with each other in 1:1 ratio. So these numbers are whole number and it is small whole number. So they are combining with each other in small whole number ratio. The relative number and kinds of atoms are constant in a compound. That means a relative number and kinds of atom. That means what all kinds of atoms are combined in a compound are constant. They will remain constant if we are talking about the compound. Earlier we spoke about an element. That element will remain same. The same thing we are discussing here for the molecule. That NaCl is there, then a compound ratio, a kind of atoms will remain constant throughout the earth. Wherever you are taking a sample of sodium chloride, you will get a definite mass, a definite number of atoms and definite proportion for sodium chloride. So if you will see, all the points are discussing and explaining the composition of matter and molecular formula of matter, how atoms are reacting in a chemical equation. Everything is depending upon the atom and they are in a fixed proportion in any of the compound. So this is all about the law of conservation of masses and law of fixed proportion, and we have seen the Dalton's theory. Don't forget to subscribe, learn yourself. In upcoming videos we are going to study about atom, molecule and molecular mass. I'll see you in next video. Till then, keep learning, keep sharing.